I read 91 books this year, and here are all the books that I gave 5 stars.
No more can be traded. My heart's have been spaded. I'm not too prideful to up and leave. You've been on complacent. The tides have been changing. Love is just patience, and for you.
What's up, Bookish babes? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you guys the book that I gave 5 star in 2024. Now, I am not the biggest 5-star giver. Like, this book has to stay on my mind. Like, it has to be one of those books that anytime I'm in the middle of recommending something, it's like automatically pop up in my brain. I don't have to go looking for it. I want everybody who haven't read it to read it. And if you've been watching my channel, you know a few of them now. I gave a few of them 4 stars because, like I said, I'm not really a big stickler on giving books 5 stars. So when I started to go back and think about it, and those books were the ones that like just stayed on my mind, like I just could not think about them or recommend them to people. Like, if you ask me what books I would recommend, 9 times out of 10, a few on this list are going to be one of them. So we're going to start with the ones that's on KU that I don't own yet, because I do need, like, I'm trying to bite the bullet and just go ahead and place the order on Amazon. But if my book come damaged, the CEO of Amazon gonna have to see me. Yeah. But we're gonna go ahead and start with the very first book. I made a list on my phone, and we're gonna go with Rhythm and Blues. This is a book by Kimberly Brown that I want to say I read at the end of November. That book was so good, y'all. If you haven't read any books by Kimberly Brown, I suggest you read it, because like she's one of the authors that I kind of like stumbled upon this year. Like at the beginning of the year, everyone on Book Talk was talking about her books, and I kind of just started going down this rabbit hole of reading her books, and y'all, they are so good. They're so good. And I've been putting off Rhythm and Blues since the beginning of the year. So at the end of November, when I finally read it, I was not disappointed, because 10 out of 10 would recommend. The next one on the list is Demon Dreams. Y'all heard me talking about this book so much this year, like so much. Any book that I did a recommendation on, I'm 9 times out of 10 recommending Demon's Dream, because that book is so good. Like, it is lengthy, but it is amazing. Like, y'all, if you haven't read Rhythm and Blues yet, please do. I'm not Rhythm and Blues, Demon's Dream. Please do, y'all, because it is so freaking good. Like, I cannot get that book out of my head. Like, I would reread that book. If I had to reread any book next year, it would be that one, because it is so good. Like, I 10 out of 10 recommend. Like, y'all, 9 times out of 10 you gonna hear me saying I recommend all these books, because it's just chef kids. Like, to be able to read about, I guess you would say, like a quote-unquote mafia thug love type of book, like, it is so good, y'all. I love Demon. I love Smoke. I love the girls. I did not like their dad. Their mama need to grow a backbone. Like, it's just so, y'all got to read this book, y'all. Every time I think about a scene in this book, I just immediately start smiling and getting all giddy, because like, it's just that good. Like, it's no other way to explain that book other than to say that it was just amazing. Like, it was spectacular. I'm gonna reread it. That's gonna be one of my rereads of 2025, because I just can't not reread that book. You know? You get it? I'm gonna go on to the physical books, and the first book on that list is Powerless by Lauren Roberts, y'all. The banter between Kai and Peyton, like the I wanna say like the world building, her friendship, his brother, like their relationship, like it goes so deep. Now, the second book, a lot of people said they didn't like the second book in this series. Like, it wasn't a 5-star for me, but it was a 4.25. But this one, I absolutely love everything about this. The leads, the what they call the ordinaries. The elites are the ones that was born with, well, got magic, and the ordinaries are one that don't. And then the king was trying to kill all the ordinaries or send them off so that they won't infect the elites. And Kai, being the enforcer, he had to go out and do all type of unspeakable things while his brother sat in the castle waiting to be king one day. Y'all, I can't really explain it how y'all need it to, like, if you've heard a lot of people talking about this book, I'm pretty sure, so you know what it's about. I just want you to read it if you haven't read it yet. The next book on the list is Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. One thing for sure, Abby Jimenez never misses when she writes any of her books, because the way I was so obsessed with Justin in this book, like, you would think I'm crazy. You would think I'm crazy, y'all. Like, it is spectacular, amazing, give me 10. Like, I absolutely love this book. I love the whole plot twist to it. I love the she met on Reddit, because both of them had this curse of they date somebody, and when they break up with that person end up finding the love of their life, and they both came up with this plan, like, let's date each other and see if it cancel out the curse. And I don't see how nobody who dated Justin before her, if he was treating them like he was treating her, like, how did you fumble that? Like, what? But you know what, I feel like everybody have a person, and maybe Justin just wasn't a person, but the way he cared for Emma and was there for Emma, and he paddled across broad seas to get to her because she was sick. Now, why would you stay in a house that's in the middle of the ocean that you can only cross, get back to mainland through, like, I wouldn't do that. That's just something I wouldn't do. But she did it. She's like a traveling nurse, her and her best friend, and they was picking places to stay, and this ends up being one of the places because of her deal with Justin. And y'all, it is so good. If you haven't read any of Abby Jimenez's books, I say read them, because you would not be disappointed. You most definitely will not be disappointed. Now, the next book on this list is Out on the Limb. And just like Justin, I absolutely love both. Like, y'all, I feel like me saying, like, yo, Bo stepped up and did what he did after accidentally getting Gwen pregnant. It was like the most bare minimal thing to be excited about. But y'all, this book was so good. Like, I really enjoyed how everything played out in this book, and how they end up both meeting, and Bo has a peg leg, well, a fake leg, as you see, and Gwen has a small hand, as you can see. Y'all, it's so good. They met at one of her best friends' Halloween parties, and the scene was set, y'all. It was a one night stand. She ends up getting pregnant by him. She ends up telling him, and he's like, yeah, I'm stepping up. I'm gonna help you with our kid. It's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And the way he treated her, he cared for her, he was there for her throughout her whole pregnancy. It was amazing. Like, I honestly was so giddy and happy that I read this book finally, because I heard a lot of things about it before I actually dived into reading it. The next one is Say You Swear, y'all. I had so many emotions reading this book. Like, this book is thick, as you can see. Like, it's pretty healthy and thick, but it's just, I don't know. Like, I had so many emotions. Her brother, I felt like he was too overbearing. Like, he just did a lot. He did too much. Like, when it came to her, even though they was twins, the same age, just different gender, he treated her so crazy. Like, he treated her like she was a toddler. Like, she was way younger than him. And I don't know. And then the fact that his best friend had a crush, well, she had a crush on his best friend. His best friend felt acting like he can't do anything without this man's fucking input. And then when she ends up moving on, he started acting like this heartbroken toddler who just, like, he just started moving really weird for me. Like, he just started moving so weird that I just think, I don't know. And I feel like if her brother didn't even want you with your sister, that should say a lot about your character, because it came out as like, I don't know, that her brother didn't even like her. But when she met Noah, Noah's bae. And Noah is bae. Like, I absolutely love Noah. Like, y'all, if you haven't read this book, please read it. It's really good. It took me a while to read it because I heard so many good things about this book. Like, I rarely heard anything bad about this book, so I was kind of scared to read it, but I'm glad I read it because now I see the hype, and I had to. I had to go ahead. I see that I'm trying to reach behind me to grab it because my TBR card is behind me. I had to grab the second book to this series about the best friend and her twin brother Mason, because the best friend was in love with Mason in this book. We're gonna see what's going on in this book. I'm ready to read it and see if I enjoyed this book just as much as I enjoyed this one. Now, the next book on this list is, first of all, I should have grabbed the whole series because the whole series is a 5-star series to me, but Heartstopper, reading about Nick and Charlie, y'all, the love that they found with each other, the friendship. I did not like Nick's friends at first because how they treated Charlie, because he came out as gay, and I felt like why I didn't vibe with the fact that how they treated him. And then when they realized like Nick was like going to be friends with Charlie regardless of what they said, and he actually got into a fight with one of his friends over how he was talking and treating Charlie. Like, y'all, it's a graphic novel, so it's fairly easy to read. I sat down and read these books, volume 1 through 5, within, I want to say, 2 days. I can't wait till volume 6 come out so I can see what's going on, because Nick's going off to college, and I'm excited. I'm excited to see what's going on. I'm excited to continue this series. I'm guessing I'm calling it a series because it's a graphic novel. But I'm excited to finish this series. Like, it is so good. Like, I really want to read more books by this author because I've heard a lot of good things. I know they have a book about his sister that was based around Christmas that I kind of missed the opportunity on. But I ended up getting sick, y'all. But anyways, I missed the opportunity on reading it. So, yeah, I'm excited to continue on with that. And the next book on this list is Wild Eyes by Elsie Silver. Y'all, I tell y'all all the time how much I love small town single father romance, and this right here, it's both in one. Like, this is about West and Skylar, who happens to be a singer who is struggling basically in her town with her blah, 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 with her mom and dad. She's a singer and she's not really feeling it anymore, so she ends up going away to find some peace, and she ends up in Rose Hill to record with the guy in the first book at his studio, who happens to be West's best friend, y'all. And West's daughter and his son, like, I just absolutely love them. Like, I love kids in books, ones that's not bad, but I absolutely love kids in books. I love West. I love Skylar, like, how they formed a relationship, how he was there for her, and help her see, like, just how her dad and mom reacted to situations. It was a scene where West's daughter ends up breaking a glass, and it kind of triggered Skylar a little bit because she felt like West was going to come in yelling, cussing, and belittling his daughter. But when she seen him react with nothing but love for his daughter, she was really surprised because she didn't expect that to be the turnout of her breaking the glass. But y'all, it's so good. I really enjoyed this book so much. And like, if you haven't read it, read it. Like, if you love small town romance, if you love single father trope, then the Rose Hill series is right for you. I cannot wait to read Wild Side when it comes out because I just know it's gonna be good. I know it's gonna be good. Now, the next book on this list is Daisy Hates The Great Undoing. I always tell y'all how much I love Daisy Hates series out of the Magnolia Park universe because I just love reading about Christian and Daisy and what is his name? Julian. Like, I just really enjoy reading about them versus Magnolia and BJ and their toxic relationship and him cheating and her crying and her going out and hooking up with men, like just acting out of her character. for this man to get his attention so he can feel bad, and he making her, like, it was just too much going on with them. Although I did enjoy the series, after reading the second book, I kind of seen the hype behind it and how it was like star-crossed lover type thing. Like yeah, I got it. But from the first book of Daisy Hates, I was locked in with Daisy Hate and Julian. And the way this one ended, I need another one. I need another one. I don't know when it's coming out, but I need it, and I need it now. Because I don't know. For her to, like, it's just a lot going on, y'all. Like, her brother is like this art thief, and they have enemies and people who out to off them. And for some reason, Daisy always the one catching strays. Like, she's always the one catching strays over Julian actions. Like, she's forever and always the one catching strays. But the way this one ends, I could not wait to dive right into the next one. But the next book that I have is Magnolia Into the Dark, which I also want to read, because how the second book ended with her. I need to see what's going on with that. But last but not least, we have A Love Redesigned by Lauren Asher, y'all. I absolutely love Lake Wisteria. Like, the setting of Lake Wisteria is just, I don't know, it's just so different. It does something to me. I just love reading about this town. I love reading about the people in it. I just so much. I just finished reading a Christmas book called My December Darling that was based in Lake Wisteria, y'all. I love Lake Wisteria. Like, anything she writes from Lake Wisteria, I'm in it. I'm ready to read it. I need to dive into Love Unwritten to see if it's take place in the same place. But back to this one. This one is about Julian and Dahlia. Julian is this, he's wealthy. He's well off. And Dahlia is this I think she's like, what do they call her? What's the title of it? Ooh, interior designer. I think that's what interior designer. And Julian kind of run his father company where he basically build houses and stuff like that. I don't know the proper terminology for it, but anyways, Julian ends up having a crush on Dahlia all his life, but instead of him telling her, he really didn't say much about it, and she ends up dating and marrying his best friend, who he ends up stop talking to because his best friend knew that he had a crush on Dahlia. And comes to find out, the best friend was trash anyways, and him and Dahlia ends up getting a divorce, and she ends up back in Lake Wisteria with her family or whatever. But they ends up linking up. His mom was like, hey, can you take Dahlia in on, and y'all work on a project together. They end up doing that. It is just so much more to this. It was so good. I really enjoyed it. But those are all. First of all, let me grab them. Hold on. All right. So these are all the books I gave 5 stars in 2024. Let me know what you read, if you read them, and what you rated them in the comments down below. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.
I'm calling bullshit. Say you got it, but you ain't got nothing. Bad bitches don't say shit, they just come.